Maternal mortality at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital has improved after a midyear scare which saw a rising trend in numbers. Head of the Obstetrics and Gynecology Department of the hospital, Professor Bafo Opoku, puts the figure at around 70 since the beginning of the year from 91 way back last year, 2016. He spoke at the African Union Commission colloquium at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi. Kwesi Debra reports.
Public response to challenges highlighted in JoyNews documentary Next to Die saw a drop in birth-related death early in the year. The situation, however, deteriorated in the mid-year, though attendance had reduced. Authorities are, however, hoping the trend for year-end will fall below the 2016 level. Professor Opoku attributes, among other factors, to training of more specialists.
Maternal deaths per se have been coming down over the past 5 years. From a high of 153 in 2012, now it's about 92 as at last year. And we even expect a further drop this year. So many factors account for this. One, we have trained more specialists to man the hospital. Number two, we have put in place what we call the MAF program, Millennium Development Accelerated Framework. And for this program, we have assigned specialists duties to oversee the district hospitals within Asante region and some parts of the western region.
Newborn mortality at the hospital has also declined, as shared by another official, Dr. Ajua Pukuya Buachi Yadom.
Neonatal mortality for 2015 was 20.1%, and then in 2016 we came down to almost 19%, and then 2017 it seems to be a magic year. We are at 15.8%, and if you look at what Ghana is doing, the Ghana Newborn Health Strategy launch that was launched in 2014. They wanted institutional neonatal mortality reduction by 5% every year. It looks like we have been able to achieve that. We will be able to achieve that in 2017.
Today, 8 years after the launch of KAMA, we are back in Ghana for the annual statutory...
The colloquium is part of African Union's Commission's annual commemoration of the campaign, Accelerated Reduction in Maternal Mortality on the continent. Is aimed at promoting and advocating renewed and intensified implementation of the Maputo Plan of Action. It targets to reduce maternal, newborn and child mortality in Africa. Dr. Timothy Aboya is with African Union Commission.
Africa should be able to streamline advocacy for resources, advocacy for technical aspects, and ensuring political governments, all regimes are held accountable for ensuring that no mother should die when they give birth to a newborn.
For JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
And that's Kwesi Debra's report. Well, contractors working on the Kejetia and Central Market redevelopment projects in Kumasi say they are frustrated about continued invasion of the site by traders. Some traders have since defied an order by city authorities to relocate from unauthorized places in the central business district of Kumasi, despite being given the ultimatum by the KMA. Officials of Brazilian firm, which is the contractors for the project, say though the situation has improved, there's still work to be done to completely rid the site of commercial activities. Nanaya Jima now reports.
Phase 1 of the $298 million project for construction of over 10,000 stores and the Kejetia terminal is about 70% complete. Though over 6,000 traders have been moved to racecourse and Abinchi markets, some are still within the project site.
Some of the goods that we are dealing with here, if you send it to racecourse, it's not going to go through for you. So I mean, for us, we prefer doing here more than racecourse, because this our phone. Somewhere in racecourse will not use iPhone or something like that. But we here at Doom, you get some guys who are using iPhone. Though patronage for that, you can feel comfortable.
Racecourse is fine.
It is true that the central business district is congested, but we cannot sell our wares at racecourse. It will not help us.
Contractor engineering is worried work is already 6 months late due to land litigation in addition to presence of trespassing traders. Project consultant Emmanuel Danson acknowledges progress made in the relocation of traders, but says intensified efforts is needed.
Some time now we've been appealing to the city authorities for the decongestion exercise, and now it's cleared, and then we'll start preparing the road for Komfo ceremony to take place. So we are good. It's better for us now. We can work perfectly. All the road network in and around KJTR will be prepared in asphalt form. So it's part of the asphalt that we are now doing it. So we'll start, the equipment are in, we'll start working on it from tomorrow.
Mr. Danso fears the 30-month completion date for the project may be missed.
But for us, what we need now is occupied. We need more. But we don't have that authorities, the city authorities that has to give us that help. So what we have is what we will start working on. We can't complain, but you bear with us that if it exceeds or it lapses, then the city authority, we've already written to the ministry, or let's say KMA and the regional minister, that due to these problems, we know we will not be able to meet the deadline.
City authorities indicate they will get rid of the traders once demarcation of plots at designated sites is complete. Nanaya Ojima reporting.
Away from Kumasi, the youth of Assin Dompem in the Assin Central constituency of the Central Region are pleading with the Ministry of Trade and Industry to establish a kente weaving factory in the area. They believe such a factory will be the most viable business under the One District, One Factory program, especially because it will also help arrest rising youth unemployment in the area. Adom News reports.
Gathered by Adom News indicate that 3 out of every 5 young men in Assin Dompem are kente weavers, but lack of working capital has made it impossible for them to enjoy full benefit of their craftsmanship, hence the plea on government. According to them, establishing a kente factory in Assin Dompem will not only reduce unemployment, but will also portray the rich Ghanaian culture and boost local tourism.
You and I know that if you want to go to number 100, you will start from 1. But it seems that we have been in the position that we are not progressing. So we are appealing to the government to help us with finance. And the initiative that he has come with, One District, One Factory, should be focused here in Assin Central, that you will invest more in the kente weaving.
We will be very happy if Nanado, the president, will help us or will improve this our work so that it becomes one of the factories that he have aimed at in Ghana. So we are appealing to the government that he help us so that we can get one of the factory as the kente factory in Assin Dompem.
Jedwan Kuma is a kente weaver. He employs 47 people at a mini kente weaving center in Assin Dompem. He wants government to use a public-private partnership arrangement to enable him expand his business and subsequently employ more young people in the area.
We plead with the government to extend the One District, One Factory program to Assin Dompem. A lot of the youth here have shown interest in weaving kente. That is the only job available here. We are of a view that if the One District, One Factory program is extended to Assin Dompem, the kente weaving industry will flourish.
Alfred Amos reports for JoyNews.
Efforts by the Attorney General to retrieve the 51 million Ghana cedi wrongfully paid businessman Alfred Woyome hit yet another snag on Monday. Lawyers for the businessman have for the 3rd time this year filed an application seeking to halt his oral examination by the Attorney General. The examination is to identify his assets which could be sold to offset his debts. In his fresh application, Mr. Woyome wants the court to rule that the examination cannot proceed due to his pending suit filed at the African Court on Human and People's Rights. There's more in the following report.
The month of October saw the case adjourned twice, once due to an application filed, with another as a result of the businessman being unwell. Deputy AG Godfred Yeboah-Dame is on record to have registered his displeasure with what he described as ploys to delay repayment of the money to the state. On Monday, Mr. Woyome was once again absent. Lawyers on both sides were called out to meet Soja Justice Benin in chambers. After a marathon meeting, they emerged with an announcement that the hearing had been adjourned. His latest application wants the oral examination to be put on hold due to a pending suit at the African Court on Human and People's Rights. Mr. Woyome initiated the action after the International Chamber of Commerce threw out his petition seeking to overturn the 2014 Supreme Court of Ghana judgment ordering that he repays the state. He has so far paid 4 million cedis, leaving 47.2 million cedis outstanding. His lawyers are expected to move the new motion on November 21.
And before we go, the minority in Parliament on Monday delivered a damning verdict on the Akufo-Addo-led government's management of the economy, warning the country could by next year experience one of the most difficult times in its history. At the forum in Parliament, minority spokesperson on finance, Kesel Atoforsen, said next year's hardship could be likened to the farming Ghanaians experienced way back in 1983. Joseph Opoku-Gakpo has more.
Atoforsen told the media the banking sector is in distress and will not be able to provide finances to ensure job creation, claiming this will lead to hardship.
You will recall, ladies and gentlemen, that after the collapse of UT Bank and Capital Bank, the Bank of Ghana approved a purchase and assumption transaction between GCB and Bank of Ghana. Indeed, our information suggests that the assuming bank, in this case Ghana Commercial Bank, will be receiving about 2 billion Ghana cedis worth of government bonds as an equivalent of, what is an equivalent of 1% of GDP to balance its assets and liabilities.
The minority is again predicting Ghana will soon be declared HIPIC because of the ballooning national debt.
When the energy bond and the capital bank bond, UT capital bank bond is added, the debt to GDP will rise to 76.8% from 72.5%. Ghana is gradually heading towards HIPIC. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be surprised that by end of 2019, we are declared HIPIC.
He is further predicting that there will be no major development project next year as a result of the economic challenges.
Don't expect that your roads in your constituencies will be fixed. The contractors who are working at various ministries, from Ministry of Roads, from Ministry of Works and Housing to infrastructure ministries, I pity, in fact, I sympathize with you. The situation is getting bad. Next year, let us be assured that there is going to be unfortunate, severe austerity equivalent to 1983. Unfortunate. We should expect that.
The minority is also claiming government intends to increase taxes on low-income earners, including a new tax on mobile money transactions.
The intention to tax mobile money transaction must be aborted immediately. Since it constitutes a serious threat to financial inclusion and economic growth in Ghana. It is also regressive. It is an indirect way of taxing transactions such as transfers of school fees and mobile monies, medical bills. In particular, the NPP must provide some relief to low-income families from this chop money transfer tax, I will call it.
And in rebuttal, the majority disputed the minority's claims. The Deputy Majority Chief Whip, Matthew Nyendam, says the gloomy projections by the minority were baseless.
There is nothing like HIPIC returning. Wednesday, God's willing, the man in charge, Ken Oforiata, will be delivering in the House. You will be there. I will be there. The budget will be live. I am telling you that, look, if Nanado and the MPP government will not transform Ghana positively, I doubt the kind of leadership that NDC will bring. And I don't know when. But I am telling you that if Nanado don't transform Ghana, I don't see NDC doing anything. They've just been booted out. How long? We all saw the suffering that we went through. Ghanaians saw the suffering. All the most social interventions that people were questioned with, they were all destroyed under NDC. I don't want to compare Nanado's government to NDC government. Look, I am telling you that we are poised to do the best. And that is what we promised the people of this country. And that is exactly what we are going to do.
It's your position that all the promises that were outlined in the budget last year have actually been delivered,
look,
1 year down the line?
Look, the most important things we talked about, the free secondary school education, we are on. We've done it. The training colleges allowances, we have done it. The nursing training college allowances, we have done it. We are talking about the $1 million per each constituency. I am telling you that we are working on the authorities because we wouldn't want to give the money to individual MPs, individual DCs to go and mismanage. And we are forming the authority. See, it is a process, and you have seen it. Tell me we are not doing the authorities. Then you say we have failed because in the budget, in the manifesto, we say we are forming authorities, and these authorities are going to manage the money. Gakpo, what do you want Nanado to do?
But what can we expect next year, 2018? They are predicting doom and gloom.
Let them keep predicting doom. Are you getting me? I am happy because next year is 2018. You will not die. I will not die. They will not die. They will live to see 2018 and onwards to 2019, and we'll beat them 2020 and move on to 2024. That's what we are going to do.
My final clarification would be, they say you are introducing tax on mobile money transactions, which they think will be terrible for the Ghanaian economy, and they are cautioning the finance minister against that. You are a member of the finance committee. You are part of leadership. Is this happening as far as the budget?
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen anything. And finance minister can never come and introduce a tax without our approval. Okay? Because tax is about we representing the people approving before he can put it in the budget.
Will you kick against it personally if he comes with such a suggestion?
I am telling you that we started our government by reducing taxes that we call nuisance taxes. We have done that. Look, my brother, I don't expect NDC to praise us. For that one, I agree with them. But I'm telling you that the vast majority of Ghanaians are happy with what we are doing. And exactly that's what we're going to do, and do it better.
Well, so that's it for the latest news update we have. We have a lot more news. We'll be reviewing the newspapers shortly. But Mama Face here, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Fab as always this morning. Yeah.
How are you doing, by the
Charlie,
way?
I'm just waiting for the budget. This morning we have a great conversation.
Yeah, we
with
do.
Dr. Botkin.
We're dispatching you.
Sharp.
Tell
and
the
just
people
after
that we're dispatching you. We're sending you away.
Sometimes you don't have to be rude.
Oh, okay. Now listen, I listened to yesterday, way after, I think almost 10 p.m. I listened to this very inspiring. When I was so down, I was thinking, oh, Charlie, why am I going through this?
When would this end?
Then I just tuned into the BBC and I was listening to a very inspiring story of two women who are blind. You know, two blind women having a very chatty conversation, and you see, so these are the women. One is Ethiopian and one is Indian.
Wow.
One went blind at the age of 5. One when she was 21, just about 7 years ago. And it's, if you have time, just go onto their website and listen. Just download and listen to it. Sometimes you need to listen, hear other people tell their story. And I was like, look at these women. They're going on. One is a lawyer, really, and advocates and all. One is a blogger. She's a content developer. And they're going on with life.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at you sitting here.
Thinking that you have all the problems and challenges in the world.
You can see. And it's really touching. And I thought that, okay.
And that is why our motivation this morning was about how we all tend to set goals. And when we have challenges along the way, we tend to just forget that we always need to rejuvenate ourselves. Yeah. It's about having some mindset of total quality management. Always having a certain relook about yourself each day. Because what really God gives you is just a day each day. When you sleep, you never know whether you're going to wake up, right?
Exactly. So listen, I don't think that we're just sharing this because of sharing's sake. I have a feeling that we're sharing this because of somebody who's watching us right now. And you think that your world has come to an end, like nothing is working for you. But I tell you what, there are people who are living the things that you have going for you. Just imagine, you can see, you can appreciate colors, you can appreciate the environment, you can appreciate your surroundings, you can see your children. One of these women actually has 2 children, 2 girls. And she tells the story about how she even manages taking care of them. And it's so lovely. It's so joyful. That's somebody who cannot see. Now, how about you who can see? And every day you're complaining. You're saying, look at me. Why am I here? Why is this happening to me? Change your story. Change your story right now. That's my inspiration plus Roland's inspiration. Yeah. So you go ahead and have a beautiful Tuesday.